Hey, seventh grade. So our learning target for today is I can use order of operations with rational numbers. You should be on page 21. Everybody should be on page 21. Okay, so for our work today, we're going to talk about order of operations. Now you're used to parentheses being the order of operations, but what's new in seventh grade is we've added two new pieces to that. We also have jail bars and square roots. So that actually is a tied for third place, or first place, sorry, tied for first place. Three-way tie. We have parentheses, which you've had forever, square roots, and jail bars tied for first place. Step one, parentheses, jail bars, square roots, that has to happen first. They all are what's called a grouping symbol. We have to do the grouping symbols first. After that, we then have the exponents. Remember that exponents are just like powers. You're used to doing that, powers. Exponents are powers. All right, guys, keep rolling here. And then after the exponents are powers, we're going to do multiplication and division. Multiplication, division are tied. We work them from left to right. Everybody should be ready. Multiplication, division, they're tied. We work them left to right. Okay, guys, keep going. And then we have, finally, addition, subtraction. Addition, subtraction, we worked left to right. They are also tied. So kind of what's new today is that first place item. Square roots, absolute value, parentheses, all are in first place. Okay, so the first problem that we're going to do here is very similar to what you've been doing for a long time. Order of operations. I want you to write this out every single time. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Every time. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Parenthesis first. Inside the parenthesis, we have to take care of that first. We're going to do all of this first. It is saying -2 plus 11. So I got to pay $2. I owe $2, and I have $11 in the bank. So if I have 11 in the bank, can I take 2 out? Yeah, I can take 2 out. What's left? $9. Now, if I'm going too fast, pause the video. All right, let's keep working. We have this from my class that's called If I Haven't Used It, I Drag It Down. So we get -36 divide by 9. -36 divide by 9. Parentheses are gone. Moving through the order of operations, my next step would be to do the exponent. No exponents involved in this problem at all. No exponents there. Multiplication division is next. This is a triangle problem. So we have a negative on the 36. We have a positive on the 9. Gives me an answer of -4. So answer is -4. Go ahead and catch up there. -4, triangle problem, 9 goes into 36 4 times, and we get a negative. Okay, guys, moving on here. This next problem is, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. All right, we do all parentheses first. All parentheses, which in this case today, remember, is parentheses, square roots, and jail bars. But we don't have any of those grouping symbols in the first problem. So we're going to move on, and we're going to move to exponents. Any exponents or powers? No. All right, so multiplication division is happening right here. We have this division, but before we can divide, we cannot do the division until we've cleaned up the denominator. So we're going to go ahead and do the denominator first, which is 0.3 plus 0.4. Feel free to use your calculator on any steps, or you think of that as really 30 cents plus 40 cents. So in the denominator, we have 30 cents plus 40 cents. 30 cents plus 40 cents, and the denominator is really like saying 70 cents. So my problem now is really 21 divided by 70 cents. Go ahead and take 21 divided by 70 cents. And your answer is 30. And we can talk about in class why that answer got bigger. Some kids get stressed about that because you have a whole number 21 and you're dividing by something very small. How did it get bigger? Now that's a conversation we can have in class if you're confused about that. But otherwise, I'm going to move on. Okay, group. So the order of operations right here. I'm going to go ahead and delete all this stuff. Okay, so we have this order of operations. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally the whole way. Any parentheses first? No parentheses. Any exponents? No. Multiplication? Yes. So before we do this problem, then we're going to say if I haven't used it, drag it down. Let's drag that 3 down. And we're going to convert this mixed number to an improper fraction. So we're going to go ahead and multiply these two. 3 times 5 is 15. And we're going to add that numerator. 15 plus 2 is 17. And the denominator is 3. Then we have, if I haven't used it, I drag it down, -7. Okay, guys, working from left to right here then. So multiplication first. In order for me to multiply these two fractions, I actually have to have 2 fractions. So you could take a shortcut on this if you like, called cross cancel. I'm going to take the long road. So I'm going to multiply these 2 fractions. We just finished working with rational numbers. So we're going to go ahead and multiply 3 times 17. We multiply 3 times 17. We get, so we have 3 times 17. And we get 51. So you should have 51 there. In the denominator, we have 3. If I haven't used it, I drag it down. Now, you can only use your calculator to help you with steps right now. You should not be using it to figure out the operation. The sign in the bottom is a 1. Our job is to find a common denominator now. We just worked on this, adding, subtracting fractions. So I'm going to start by stop, chop, chop. Denominator I'm going to use is 3. So we're going to go ahead and use this denominator of 3. On the left-hand side, that 3 is set, locked in. We're going to just drag that down. Gives me the fraction 51 over 3. On the right-hand side, we're going to go from 1 to 3. We're going to multiply by 3. There's our 3. Copy, paste. Triangle problem on the top. This is a -7 times 3 in the numerator. That's a triangle problem of -21. All right, group, so keep working here. So we have 51. Take away 21 is 30. I'm out of room there, so sorry about this work, but I'm going to move it over here. 30. In the denominator, it's 3. So we have 30. Divide by 3. Answer is 10. 30 divided by 3. Answer is 10. Go ahead and catch up on that if you're confused. Okay, 7th grade, moving on to that next problem then, using the order of operations. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Make sure we're in good shape there. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and grab those order of operations. I'm going to move it on over. Make sure we're covering it. I'll probably end up erasing it because I'll need that space. Parenthesis first. So I'm going to take care of the parenthesis first. I like to stop, chop, chop everything. So I'm going to stop, chop, chop that subtraction, even though you might be dumping that in your calculator anyway. So we have 7 plus -2.9, first step according to parentheses. Gives me 4.1, I meant to say 4.1, not 5.1, sorry. I was doing that in my head, 4.1. If I haven't used it, I'll drag it down. So we have 0.4 multiplied by 4.1. If I haven't used it, drag it down. Now you can go ahead and do this by hand if you want. I'm going to use my calculator on this next step, I think. All parentheses are gone. So I move to exponents next. Do we have any exponents? No, no powers or exponents in there. Then multiplication kicks in. We're going to go ahead and multiply these two. We have 0.4 multiplied by 4.1. 0.4 multiplied by 4.1. All right, so as we multiply then, we have 1.64. If I haven't used it, I drag it down. If I haven't used it, I drag it down. So as we just finish up this problem then, we have $1.64 plus $11 gives me $12.64. So answer is $12.64. Order of our operation, we're doing all rational numbers, so all decimals and fractions in our work today. Decimals, fractions, whole numbers, and so on. All right, group, here we go. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. I'm going to write it over here. I'll end up erasing it before I do the next problem, but I just need some space right now. Remember that parentheses actually have a three-way tie now. So it's regular parentheses that you're used to, jail bars, and square root. So these are really tied for first place. This guy and that guy tied for first place, but we work left to right, so the jail bars are going to win. So I'm going to work just this first jail bar. Inside the jail bar, I have to take care of what's on the inside first, inside out. So we end up with -14 living in jail. Okay, I'm going to keep working this problem down, which gives me +14. When we pull it out of jail, always positive. Sign in the middle is add. Over on the right-hand side, I have to take care of what's inside the square root. Order of operations inside the square root becomes -15. That's a triangle problem. -3 times 5. Triangle problem is -15. So we have -15 plus 40, all living in the square root. All living in the square root. So now we're going to go ahead and clean that up inside the square root. I'm going too fast. Go ahead and pause that video. So we have -15 plus 40 gives me 25 living in the square root. The square root of 25. So if we think about what a square root really is, it's a square that has the area of 25. We want to know what is the side of that square. What's the side of a square that has the area of 25? We should be saying 5. We're going to just clean up the rest of this problem. So we have 14 plus 5, easy enough at the end, is 19. Answer should be 19. Okay, guys, great job. Stick with this now. This is rational numbers order of operation. There's a lot going on in this lesson. All right. Let's try this next example. So we have, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. I'm kind of out of room to write it. So parentheses first, no. Exponents, no. Multiplication, yes. Right here is the multiplication. So I'm going to drag this first fraction down. But this second mixed number has to be converted to an improper. We just worked on this recently. We're going to convert to an improper. So we're going to go ahead and multiply the denominator and the whole number. 4 times 1 is 4. And we're going to add the numerator. So that becomes 4 plus 3, which is 7. And put the 4 back. If I haven't used it, I drag it down. All right, group. So we have 2/3 plus 7/4 plus 5/8. I meant to say 2/3 times 7/4 plus 5/8. I'm not sure if I said the right operation there, but you can see the sign. Multiplication happens first. You can take a shortcut there if you want. I'm going to take the long road. When we multiply tops, which is 14. We do not have to find a common denominator when we multiply. We multiply bottoms, which is 12. If I haven't used it, I drag it down. So I end up with 14 over 12 plus 5 over 8. Okay. I need a common denominator, so I need a number that 12 goes into and 8 also goes into. I'm going to move this up a little bit so I have some additional space here. All right. So denominator I'm going to use that I can put 12 into and 8 also goes into is 24. So I'm asking myself how many 12s go into 24, and I'm going to say, well, 12 goes into 24 2 times. So there's my 24, copy, paste. My numerator then becomes 14 times 2, which is 28. So I have 28 over 24 on the left. On the right, how many 8s go into 24? Well, 3. Copy, paste gives me 15. So if I clean this problem up then in the numerator, I have 28 plus 15. Well, 28 plus 15 becomes 43. Denominator is 24. So I have 43 over 24. Turn that into a mixed number. How many 24s go into 43? How many 24s go into 43? 1. You can put that in your calculator if you need help. And there should be a remainder of that 19 over 24. If you need more additional help on that in class, make sure you're asking how to change from an improper to a mixed number, but that really is back to elementary stuff. But we still can talk about it for sure. Okay, group. A couple left here. Next problem. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. So we do all parentheses first. We have this parenthesis with a -5 in it. It just has one number in it, so there really isn't anything for us to do with it. So we can move on. Exponents are next. I need 2 of those. Remember, that's a bump, bump. -5 blank blank times -5. That is a giant triangle problem. Negative times negative is positive 25 in the numerator. Positive 25, that's a -5 times a -5. In the denominator, I just have a 3 plus 2. Just a positive 3 plus 2 is 5. And now I'm just left with this division sign. 25 divided by 5 is 5. The answer should be 5. Okay, next problem, guys. So we have this division sign in the middle. In the numerator, we have a triangle problem. So we have this triangle problem up on top. 7 times -5. 7 times -5, if you remember how to do triangle problem, that's a negative on the 7. I'm sorry, a positive on the 7. A negative on the 5 is what I meant to say. Answer should be -35. -35. In the denominator is a money in the bank problem. So in that denominator, I have -8 plus 3. Do I have enough money to spend? No. I'm short $5, which is -5. This is a triangle problem coming out of the bottom. So you have a negative on the 35, a negative on the 5. Final answer is +7. +7 on the bottom. Good job, guys. Hang in there. We have one more problem. It has a square root in it. One more problem with the square root. Okay, so here we go. 7 times 7 is 49. We have a square root on the outside of that, and we're dividing by -7. So inside this square root, we have 49 living in the square root. And we're going to go ahead and find the side length. So what's the side length of a square that has an area of 49? The answer is 7. Denominator is -7. Triangle problem kicks in here. So for our triangle problem, we have a positive on the 7. We have a negative on the 7. Answer then is -1. Answer is -1. So this is the order of operations. You've been doing it for a long time. What's different in 7th grade math, first of all, is there's negatives involved. So stop, chop, chop comes into play. All those things you have to think about, money, having money, owing money. In addition to that, you have to know that JL bars, absolute value bars, and square roots also take first place. So there is a three-way tie for first place. So it looks like this. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. These are tied, left to right. These are tied, left to right. And then there's this three-way tie of parentheses, square roots, and JL bars. They are tied for first place. That's kind of the new piece of the order of operations in 7th grade. Yeah, and I think I'll have you write this down as well. Just a reminder that fraction bars are included. Fraction bars when recorded that are included in that as well. So absolute values, square roots, they're all in first place. They're considered grouping symbols, so they function like parentheses. Go ahead and copy that down. I'll give you some time to write. Okay, guys, and your homework then tonight is just to do page 22, order of operations. I expect to see work on everything. So if it's a fraction and you're adding, there should be a common denominator. If you're multiplying, I should see that the multiplication is happening, and so on. If I haven't used it, drag it down. Your homework is page 22. Have a great night.